I'm Deidre, and today we are going to read Reddit r/relationship advice again. My 27 female, fiance 26 male, set boundaries around what I can talk about with him. Is this healthy? Essentially the title. My fiance and I have been dating for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. Over the last 2 years, he asked me not to talk about or drastically limit how much I talk about certain topics, including work, niche topics that I've extensively researched and really enjoy, and our wedding. Wow. Today, he added the cat I recently rescued to the list. This has severely limited the topics that I talk to him about and made me feel that he just doesn't want me to talk. There you go. This is backed up by comments that he's made about how monotonous and hard to listen to my voice is. Writing this out, I totally understand that I sound like a boring person, but he knew most of these things about me coming into the relationship. We knew each other before we started dating. However, I understand that those things aren't everyone's cup of tea. I used to talk at length about those topics, but I've worked really hard not to talk about them too much with him. That's sad. I even set daily reminders on my phone not to talk about the topics that bother him until it became a habit. Initially, he said I didn't need to set the reminders, but he was noticeably happier when I started talking less in general. What an asshole. Meanwhile, he continues to talk at length about the similar topics that he's asked me not to, work, and his favorite topics to research. When I brought up what I felt like was a double standard, he said that anyone could understand and relate to his work, whereas he doesn't understand mine. This is kind of long, but this is worth it, I think. I have also made an effort to at least listen to and encourage his research topics, even though they're not my thing, and he says that these are the only things he has to unwind outside of work, a physical, public-facing job. It does make me sad. I believe in encouraging people's favorite topics, and I'd really love to have that reciprocated from my partner. Instead, the list keeps getting longer. When I want to give him important updates on my work, like that I'm going after another job, I have to preface my update with, "I'll make this quick," or, 2-minute update. And even then he looks like he's been forced to endure. Several times when those things, especially work, which has been especially rough for me this year, are all I can think about, I find myself with very little to say that won't go against his boundaries that he set. But I still want desperately to talk to someone. On those days/weeks, we'll have very surface-level conversations. Especially then, I talk a lot to our 3 cats and now the rescue cat. Mostly nonsense things about how sweet they are and silly made-up scenarios. And then we just slow blink at each other back and forth. It's great. This upsets my fiance. Really? He's made comments about how he'd have to act like a cat if he wants me to talk to him and give him attention. What a fucking idiot. I've explained that I'm just going through stuff at work and don't want to talk his ear off about it. I've tried having conversations about how to resolve this so we both get what we need, but he usually turns it back on me in some way. This can't be healthy, right? Or am I overthinking it / missing something? We're about 2 months out from the wedding. Ew! And I'm struggling to finish wedding DIYs because of what this would mean for the rest of my life. Thanks in advance. Okay, so before we go any further, do you want to do this for the rest of your life? Would anyone want to do this for the rest of their life? Would anyone want to legally bind themselves to a situation where they had 0 voice and were probably going to lose even more of their own voice? Does anyone actually want to tie themselves to a situation where you do not get to exist? Does anyone want to tie themselves to a situation where the things that interest them, not even just the things that interest them, the things that occur in their day-to-day life, they cannot discuss with the person that they are essentially bound to for the rest of their life? When people get married, it is to become a support system for each other. And this gentleman wants a vagina with legs that makes money. He doesn't want her to play any other part in his life other than the aforementioned. Guaranteed. This is so sad. And this is not, they're almost 30 years old. She is almost 30 years old, and it's almost as though she is devolving the past 7 to 10 years of her life, piece by piece, destroying herself in order to keep this jerk happy. He doesn't want to take on any of her ideas and interests and burdens, but he expects her to take on his ideas and interests and burdens and not have a problem. She can't even talk to a cat and be happy through that because that bothers him. He gets jealous. I would guarantee that this gentleman has a much bigger issue than a girlfriend who talks too much. If I could talk to this girl face to face, I would strongly advise not marrying this guy. This is not life. This is not how it's supposed to be. You don't marry someone who's going to smother you and silence you. That's not what marriage is. Marriage is supposed to be empowerment, support, guidance. This is neither of those things. This is a man and his penis cozy. He might as well just buy a blow-up doll. And you know what? Honestly, if you replaced yourself with a blow-up doll, he probably would not even notice, other than the fact that it was far more relaxing not having to hear anyone speak at all. I will do one more because that one was kind of long. Okay, here's a good one. I, 27 female, just found out my boyfriend, 32 male, has been on Tinder. Am I being too harsh? My boyfriend and I have been together for about 6 months. I've recently started having doubts about the relationship. However, a few days ago, my friend sent me a screenshot of my boyfriend's profile on Tinder. Sounds like he was also having doubts. When I asked him about it, he played it cool, gave me his phone, and when I checked, he didn't have the app. Not even an hour later, I'm still thinking about it, so I do a bit of Googling. If you are inactive for more than 7 days on Tinder, then your profile doesn't show up. Now I'm sus again. I made him download Tinder and log in. This man started shaking, and I immediately knew he was lying to me. I see he had messaged someone on there not even a month ago when he was away for work. He's now saying he never actually met up with anyone or did anything. He would have if he had the opportunity. He said he was scared that I was going to do that to him, so that's why he did it. He's always been super insecure. That is a red flag. We will talk about that. But I'm pretty chill, and I always reassured him I would never do anything like that. So I kicked him out of my house. I broke up with him, and I don't know why, but I feel awful. He has begged me to give him another chance, saying he won't do it ever again. It was a mistake, and that he loves me and wants a future together. Why do they always say the same stuff? I don't know what to do. I don't want to be that person who got manipulated and walked all over, but I also don't want to hurt him because I genuinely think he is sorry. Yeah, he's sorry, all right. I even feel stupid for writing this, but I think I just need some advice so I don't give in if it's not the right thing to do. His mom, who I've only spoken to once, has also messaged me advocating for him. That's another... That in itself is a red flag. Frick. Which makes me feel even worse, but also so pissed off that he would involve her like this. You know why he did that? It's because mommy gets him out of all of his sticky situations. Since childhood, I'm sure. Please just tell me if I'm being a people pleaser and need to move on. Well, to answer those 2 questions first, if you were to take him back because you don't want to hurt his feelings, which I'd like to note, he didn't care that he was going to hurt your feelings if, Sally Joe over in Toledo was available. and responded to his messages, he would not have cared about your feelings, guaranteed. Then yes, if you stay with him, do not hurt him. You will be a people pleaser. Not even just people pleaser. You will be pleasing him and his mom. Everyone else is looking at you like you're crazy. And the next question, if she needs to move on. Yes. So there was a part here that was kind of concerning, which was where she said, he's always been super insecure. So one thing that you will come to understand, insecurity is the root of narcissism. Narcissistic traits, I'm not even talking about diagnosable narcissism. Narcissistic traits come from insecurity. Unfortunately, when people go out and, have affairs on their partner and cheat, like this guy, tried to take the opportunity to cheat while he was away with freaking traveling mode on Tinder, it's because they need outside validation. The thirst for outside validation is very high when you're a person who is not aware of their own worth. Unfortunately, it is that leads a lot of people to cheat. I'm not saying everyone, I'm just saying that emptiness inside, one may seek to fill quite frequently in unhealthy ways, be it alcoholism, cheating, McDonald's. Tinder, I'm not going to stigmatize any dating app. I think it would happen anywhere and everywhere that it is possible. You will often find people who want to cheat, unfortunately. Whenever I would see a person in traveling mode, that would be kind of a red flag for me. That doesn't mean that they're cheating, but high chance that they're cheating because, they're in your area. They want to connect with somebody and then they leave. It's not like you guys are going to keep in touch. You know nothing about this person. So I think it's a pretty high chance that one might encounter someone looking to cheat. If this gentleman is traveling and he has set his profile to traveling mode, he is looking for something, not a whole other relationship. He is looking for a connection solely for that 1 or 2 weeks that he is traveling. And it's not to build a foundation for a healthy relationship. He just wants to have a penis cozy while he's away without the chances of a mutual friend or freaking the girl he is sleeping with being able to reach out to his wife and say something. She knows nothing about his wife. Hell, he's over there probably pretending he's single and ready to mingle, which I'm curious what he even had on his profile. Bio. A lot of times people like this don't even have a bio. But anyways, yeah, dump this guy. I wouldn't say don't date insecure people, but just know you are taking on a beast that you cannot slay. No matter how many compliments and reassurances, like she says, or how chill you are not going to slay that beast. That is a beast that must be slayed from within. And unfortunately, if you are freaking 32 years old and you are still allowing your insecurities to take the wheel to the point of hurting your partner, never say never, but high chance you probably aren't going to slay that beast. Chances are you have embodied the beast. And unless you are willing to go to individual therapy and, get some help slaying that beast inside, it's probably not going to happen. And I say that because a lot of times where you find narcissistic traits in a person, there's also the inability to confront their own flaws in general. But I mean, imagine confronting your flaws in front of another person. That is not a good time for someone on a narcissistic spectrum. And that is all just to today. I hope you enjoyed reading Reddit with me, r/relationship advice. Have a great day.